It was early morning. The air was still cool, but the tension in the streets was rising. A group of men, Pharisees and scribes, marched through the narrow alleyways, dragging a woman behind them. She had been caught in a moment of failure. Her hair was messy, her eyes wide with fear, her dignity stripped. And now she was being pulled, not into justice, but into humiliation. The men were loud, angry, righteous. They weren't just enforcing the law, they were putting on a show of morality, a show of control. The crowd began to follow, drawn by the noise, the drama. She was thrown into the center, the temple courtyard. All eyes turned to her. No one asked her name. No one asked her side of the story. She was not a person anymore, just an example, a case, a warning. Then one of the men shouted, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the very act of adultery. The law of Moses commands us to stone such a woman. What do you say?" The question wasn't about her, it was a trap. But in that moment, the woman, heart racing, face burning, could only wait. Was this where her story ended? The religious leaders stood tall and proud. They believed they had cornered Jesus. If he said, "Let her go," he'd defy the law. If he said, "Stone her," he'd betray his message of mercy. The crowd leaned in. They wanted a spectacle. But Jesus didn't speak. He didn't react in anger. He didn't argue. Instead, he stooped down, and with his finger, he began to write in the dust. The words, no one knows. Perhaps names, perhaps sins. But the moment was silent, sacred. The leaders grew impatient. "Answer us," they demanded. Still, he wrote, calmly, gently, without fear. And then, slowly, he stood. He looked at them, straight into their eyes, the proud, the angry, the self-righteous, and he said, "Let the one among you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone." That was it. No shouting, no accusations, just one sentence, and it echoed through every heart. Silence fell. You could hear the wind. The oldest among them, those who had lived long, who knew their faults well, began to walk away first. One by one, they dropped their stones and left. The crowd thinned. The woman remained. And Jesus? He returned to the dust. Jesus stood once more and looked at her. This time there was no crowd, no angry voices, no threats, no stones. Just the Son of God and a woman broken by shame. He asked her gently, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" Her voice trembled. "No one, Lord." Jesus replied, "Then neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." No lectures, no punishment, just grace. She had expected death, but found mercy. In a world where judgment comes quickly, Jesus offered something far more powerful: grace. He didn't ignore her sin, but he didn't define her by it either. He saw her not as a mistake, but as someone worth saving. The men saw a sinner. Jesus saw a soul. That's the difference. That's the heart of the gospel. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's divine strength. And grace doesn't excuse sin, it transforms it. It calls us higher. It says, "You are not your past. You are my beloved." Maybe you've never been dragged through the streets, but haven't we all felt shame? Haven't we all feared judgment? We try to hide our failures, we wear masks, but inside we carry regret. What if Jesus met you in that moment? Would he cast you away? Or would he stoop down beside you and lift you up? The answer is in this story. He doesn't throw stones. He offers arms wide open to you, to me. The woman walked away forgiven, a new beginning, a restored heart, not because she was perfect, but because she was loved. And you, your story isn't over either. No matter what you've done, no matter what you carry, Jesus is not waiting to punish you. He's waiting to redeem you. The crowd may condemn, but Christ forgives. So drop your stone and accept his grace.